Alrighty, so bearings. Now, we've looked at some trigonometry when we've been just given triangles and to find some values doing with them. Now, bearings is more just using a compass to come up with our values that are going to give us a direction. So, there's nothing really too tricky about these, okay? And I understand that a lot of anxiety comes as soon as we introduce bearings. A lot of people say, I can't do bearings, I don't know how to do bearings, but realistically, it's not that much trickier than just doing regular trigonometry. There's two main things that you need to look at, and the first one is the direction. So where are you going from, and where are you going to? And the second one is, like what angles can you create from information that's been given. So when we introduce bearings, what we'll start off by looking at is we'll have a look at what's called a compass rose. So on the screen right now, you should notice that we actually have, I've drawn up a compass, essentially a compass. So this compass is basically is like a directional tool that we use. So what we need to do is we need to allocate some direction from this compass. Now, the way we do this, well, there's two ways we do it, but the main way we're going to focus on is just the direction, okay? And the way we're going to get our direction is based on how far we've turned clockwise from directly north. So north is straight up, okay? And we associate north with a degree of 0, 0, 0. Now, the reason I use 3 zeros, okay, is a figure bearing, or it's also called a true bearing, okay? A true bearing is just the three numbers like that. And it will become quite clear in a moment why we use those three numbers. Now, coming around our compass rose, okay, so east, well, we can work out east quite easily. As you can see here, we've got a 90-degree angle. So our eastern direction we associate with 090, or 090, which is 90 degrees to the east. South gets associated with 180 degrees, and of course west is 270 degrees, so adding on 3 lots of 90 to get around there. We can also associate our north, okay, with the angle 362. So you can use either 0 degrees or 360. It's completely up to you. Okay, it doesn't actually matter which way you go in that regard. In most cases, though, it'll probably say directly north. And in a lot of cases, you don't actually need to know that it's 360 or it's 0 degrees, but it just makes it a bit easier for us. Now from here, we've got our halfway points. So here we've got our northeast point, so halfway between north and east. And of course, it's associated with the angle 45 degrees. Southeast associated with the degree or the angle 135 degrees. Southwest is 225 degrees. Okay, so it's SW for southwest. And finally, northwest. No, not the child, but the direction. And 315 degrees. Okay, so pretty straightforward. It's just the halfway. So halfway between 0 and 90, of course, is 45. Halfway between 270 and 360 is 315. And in fact, if you add 45 degrees, because that's what angle's in here, it's a 45 degree in there. If you add 45 degrees to 270, so plus 45, you would get the 315 degrees that goes around there. Okay. So from this, we can actually get create, or not create, but we can actually get other angles. So for example, if I had a little point coming out like this, and I call this point A, and I tell you that from the eastern line up to that line where A is protruding, we have 35 degrees, well not 35, let's make it something a bit more realistic, 15 degrees like this, okay? Then what we could do is we could say that our point A, so it's point A, okay? Well, what angle is point A sitting at? Okay. Well, to work this one out, if we were to go the full 90 degrees, okay, we would be completely east, okay? So if we were to go the full 90 degrees, or 090, if we're using a figures. So if we go the full 90 degrees, we'd be completely east. But then to go back to that A value, we'd have to take off 15 degrees. So we'd have to take off 015, okay? Or just 15 degrees. So 090 take away 15 degrees is, hopefully you got it, is 075. So the point A is sitting at the bearing of 075, okay? And as this is a true bearing, we don't have to like write north, northeast, or whatever. We just write 075, okay? Let's have a look at another one. So let's say we had this one down here, okay? And we'll call this one point B. And we'll say point B is, and it's going to be like 30 degrees, 30 degrees like this, okay? So 30 degrees in there. So this is point B. Point B is equal to. So again, let's remove the purple from before because we're doing a new one. So I'll zoom in and just quickly get rid of it. Okay. So for this new one, this new 30, this new point B, okay, to get to it, okay, well, what would we have to do? Okay, well, there's a few ways we could do this one. Because we've got the southwestern point, it makes it a bit easier for this particular one. But for this case, if we were to go around to here, okay, we come around, we come exactly to the southern point, okay, how far would we happen to turn to get to that southern point? So if we were facing north and we had to turn around, how far would have I turned around to that southern point? And so that's 180 degrees. But we actually have to also keep traveling an extra 30 degrees to get to our point B. So we're going to add on our 35 degrees like this. Okay? So 180 plus 35, well, let's do the simple maths there. 5, 8 plus 3, 9, 10, 11. Carry the 1, so it's 215 degrees. So it's a bearing of 215 degrees. So if I started at the, if I started facing north and I turned to 215 degrees, I would be facing the direction of point B. Okay, and then I could do some walking along that point if I needed to. Okay, so that's pretty much bearings in a nutshell. Okay, and it's really important we get this into this idea of adding on 180 or minusing from 90 degrees. If we were in this quadrant here, over on this side, okay, you could add on to get to that way, or you could subtract depending on what side they give you. Okay, and it's all deterministic of what side they give you. So for now though, okay, work out what angle that have we been given, and do we need to add more on from something we know, or do we need to take some off? Because as I said, there's another way that you could do point B, okay? We know that all the way around to here is 270 degrees, okay? So you could in fact do 270 degrees minus, and then come backwards, and you could do minus 60 degrees like that, because we know that there's 90 degrees in this whole angle in here. So if this is 30 in here, then this must be 60 up here. So 270 minus 60. Oh, why did I add 35? I was meant to add 30. Oh my god. I'm just picking random numbers for some reason. Whoops. Get the same answer. Okay, good. That was really, really, really weird. So I don't know why I decided to pick 35. I guess I just decided to do 35. I don't know, I guess I saw the 135 and decided to do 35 instead. Anyway, point being is it's going to be it's going to be 180 plus the 30, or 270 minus the angle that makes it complementary, so the 60 in there. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much how bearings work in a nutshell.